All right, guys. So here is example number one. Okay. So just like I showed you on, or you should have seen on the previous slides, just a quick review. Um, 60 seconds equal 1 minute, right? So there's 60 seconds and 1 minute, and there are 60 minutes and 1 hour. Okay. So if we go ahead and we look at what our example one is, what our first problem is, we need to go ahead and look at 180 minutes. Okay. And what I'm asking you to do is to figure out how many hours are in 180 minutes. All right. So what I'm doing is this. If I know that 60 minutes equals 1 hour, right? What I need to do is I need to figure out how many times can I take 60 minutes out of 180 minutes, right? So how many groups of 100, how many groups of 60 can I get out of this 180, right? So I could subtract over and over again. I could keep subtracting 60 away from 180, or we already know that like repeated subtraction is division, right? It's dividing. It's taking 60 away over and over again. Okay, so here's how I'm going to do it. Okay, so I know I've got 180 right here. Okay, and the 180, the reason I have 180 here is that's how many minutes I'm telling you we have altogether, right? So you got 180 minutes, and I'm trying to figure out how many groups of 60 I can make. Okay, because what we know is 60 minutes equals 1 hour. All right, oops, let me do this. There we go. We have a little more space. So I've got my division house over here. Here's that division house. Okay, across the street, I'm going to go ahead and draw my gym. Okay, I got my gym across the street. So in case I need to work a couple things out, I can work out some multiplication over there. All right, so now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out how many groups of 60 I can get out of 180, right? So 60 times something. Okay. Now, I know 6 times 3 is 18. So 60 times 3 equals 180. Okay? Because I'm going to annex the 0. Since this is, it's not a 6. Hold on, let me go ahead and do this. This is not a 6. It's actually 60, right? So I'm going to annex it. Since I have since I annex the 0 here, right, going from 6 to 60, I'm going to go ahead and annex a 0 here. Okay, so 6 times 3 is 18, so that means that 60 times 3 is 180. All right, so that means I can go ahead and do this. 60 times 3 is 180. All right, so I can make 3 groups of 60, and that'll give me 180. Okay, so if I take 180 out of this big chunk, I have nothing left over. Okay, so my quotient is 3. That means I was able to get 3 groups of 60 out of this 180. All right, now what does this 3 mean? This 3 means 3 hours. Okay, because I'm able to get groups of 60. Now, because we're working with hours and minutes, we're working with hours and minutes. So any group of 60 minutes equals 1 hour. Okay, I was able to get 3 groups of 60. So that makes 3 hours. All right. Now, if we want to look at this visually, okay, I can kind of use a bar model as well. So if I go ahead and draw this bar right here, and I say that this is 180 minutes, right? What I can do is make groups of 60. Go ahead and do this over here on the side. So let's say this is 60 minutes, which is 1 hour. Okay, so 180, and I take away 60. That leaves me with 120. So that means that the rest of this right here is 120, right? Okay, so I'll go ahead and let me use a different color. If I take another group of 60 out, so 60 minutes, Again, that's another hour, right? So I have 120. Now I'm going to go ahead and take 120 and take away another 60. And that leaves me with 60. Oh, perfect. All right. So I know this last chunk right here, this last bar, this last piece of the larger bar is going to be 60, right? Which is 1 hour. So I had 60 left over. And I take away that 60, I've got nothing left over. So that means there's no minutes, there's no extra minutes in this work, right? So what I did was I subtracted and then I repeated. I subtracted and then I repeated it again. I subtracted, which is essentially the same thing as what I did up here with the division. Okay? So just visually you can see that this 180 minutes is represented with this larger bar, right? And if I keep breaking off groups of 60 and break off another group of 60 minutes and another group of 60 minutes, okay, I was able to do that 3 times, which is 3 hours, okay? And that's pretty much what I did here with this division, okay? Because repeated subtraction is the same as division. All right, now, what's more efficient? It's more efficient to do this division work right here, okay? If you want to try to do a bar model with this work, you can, right? But the more efficient way to do this would be to go ahead and divide, okay? All right, so back to this. 180 minutes would equal 3 hours. And there's no extra minutes.